Eric Garner's story, of course, has enraged many people throughout the country. Many protests have happened after a grand jury decided not to indict the cop who put Eric Garner in a chokehold and then killed him. But there's one couple in America that probably is the nastiest out of everything I've seen online, okay? It turns out that there was a local news report happening in Manhattan. It was WPIX, and Allison Caden, who's a reporter there, was actually talking about how some of the protests in Manhattan were delaying and disrupting the lighting of the tree in Rockefeller Center, okay? It's a disaster, okay?
Wait, oh my God. The lighting of the Christmas tree was delayed? I didn't know we had a national emergency on our hands.
So, look, the report itself was a little comical, right? But then all of a sudden, you see this couple in the background. They realize that a live report is happening, and they start mocking the chokehold that killed Eric Garner.
That's classy. Well played. But luckily, they're not on TV or anything. So, oh, wait. Yes, they are, so everybody knows who they are. Oops. Okay, look, they're being incredibly stupid. I don't want to, I'm afraid whenever we do a story like this, people are going to try to find them or something. Don't find them. Don't. Okay.
They're terrible people, don't get me wrong, but this is not meant to incite violence. I think that this is more indicative of the divide you see in the country between those who feel the injustice and those who think that this is some sort of overreaction. And that's the frustrating part. People that think that this is an overreaction that's pushed by the media. This is not an overreaction, okay? There's severe injustice in the country, okay? This is such a clear case of a miscarriage of justice.
It's not funny to Eric Garner's family.
Yeah.
It's not funny to the guy that we played a tape of in the first hour of today's show that was saying, what am I supposed to do now? What am I supposed to do with my kids? What am I supposed to tell them, right? And that's a common refrain we hear. Most of the pundits, even including the right-wingers, were mystified that Eric Garner was a killer, because that's what he was. The medical examiner said it was a homicide. The cop involved here was not indicted, right? Even Bill O'Reilly thought maybe manslaughter. I mean, I'm surprised there's no reaction. Though one of the guys who was not in that camp was Sean Hannity, and he mainly blamed Al Sharpton.
Well, of course.
Okay, now Al Sharpton. He's got a lot of issues in his past. There's no question about that, right? But he didn't choke Eric Garner. The cop choked Eric Garner. He didn't kill Eric Garner. The cop killed Eric Garner. But to him, and Hannity said, well, now, to be fair, he was a little upset because it was an issue of taxes. You know, Eric Garner was not paying taxes, so he was kind of on his side there, right? And so he thought maybe, and he was upset that the cops weren't harder on people selling marijuana, legally, by the way, in New York. So it's not that he was upset that Eric Garner got hurt. He was upset that the guys legally selling marijuana are only getting fines and not getting choked to death.
I love how confused Hannity is about this story. He's like, oh, so many conflicting ideologies here. There's a black guy who got killed by cops. I'm generally in favor of that. But then there's the case of taxes. I'm usually in favor of not paying taxes. I don't know which way to go.
Does not compute, does not compute. I will blame Al Sharpton, right? So now, look, to those guys, it's an opportunity to make, their political points, but then the Hannity robot breaks down because he's got two conflicting talking points there. And to these guys on the street, it's a joke, like, haha, oh yeah, remember when you... But you got to have better sense than that, man. But more importantly, it goes to what Anna said, frame of mind, right? Black people in New York, minorities and people that have been picked on by the NYPD for a long time look at this case as something incredibly frightening because they think that could happen to us. They wouldn't make that joke because it's not a joke to them. It's real. It's reality to them. Whereas white people know generally it's not going to happen to them, right? Now, look, it spreads and, and the cops are not taking any chances with anything and hence going after more and more people, mentally ill people, et cetera. But overall, even the white people there in that picture think, no, that's only for black people. They're not going to do it to us anyway, so it's just a joke to us.
It's ridiculous.
Because if they thought they were in real danger, they wouldn't do that.
And also, no matter what you think about this case, and even if you agree with the grand jury that this cop shouldn't have been indicted, I mean, where is the humanity and the compassion? I mean, when did people stop thinking about the victim's family and people who are devastated by Eric Garner dying? I mean, it's just, a lack of compassion. I think that we have a really big problem in this country with that. I think you can see it when it comes to things like income inequality, when it comes to cases of police brutality, just like this lack of compassion and understanding, empathy. We lack empathy, and it's a really, really disheartening thing to realize about society.